Dude, how was
Hey,
CoMotion?
Austin.
How was CoMotion? How was it? Did you have a fun time?
God, there's just
was
no,
that
there's
fun
no
for you?
intro with you. Is that fun for you, huh?
Was that
Is
fun
that
for you?
fun
Did
for
you
you?
enjoy? Did you enjoy?
enjoying it?
Little CoMotion, little baby.
God, disgust me. Hi, Austin. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah?
I am all sorts of frazzled now, but
Frazzled.
yeah, I'm just.
You're fried and frazzled?
No, not fried. Definitely not
crispy?
that. Nope, definitely not.
Are you feeling like a little chicken with breading on the outside? Are
Can't.
you in battered in cornmeal, my friend?
Can't say I am. Can't say I am. Anyway, what's poppin', y'all? We missed Friday. It felt like it's been forever since I have been on the Daily Motion Show, and we can't have
It
that.
felt longer than
The
when
retreat.
we went on the retreat.
It did.
That time period felt shorter than this time period.
It was really weird. So, were we having more fun on the retreat or at CoMotion? I don't
I'll
know.
never say.
I can't say. Couldn't tell you. But any hoosers, what up, Atharva? How you doing? Hello, hello. We're gonna recap our trip. For those of you that don't know, CoMotion is a student led motion design conference at the Savannah College of Art and Design. It's a private art school in Georgia, here in the United States. And essentially, what they do is pair the students there that are in the club with different companies, certain studios in the industry. And so Noah and I were invited there to do portfolio reviews for about 16 people there. JC in the chat was our doorman for one of those days. Thank you, JC. That was very kind, very helpful. So we did live boom roasted critiques. And hopefully some of the people that we critiqued will actually submit some of their stuff on the critique form link in the description, because that would be really fun. Anyway, so that's basically what we did. It was helping students and reviewing their portfolios, and also just chatting and getting to hang with our fellow industry homies that otherwise we hadn't seen in years, like almost 2 years. So it was really good to get to see everybody. And I don't know, it was a little strange being there when we were the same age or younger than the students that we were reviewing. We were definitely one of the youngest companies there. But that made it kind of fun, because at some of the mixers and things, we'd get confused with people thinking we were students. So they would ask like, "Oh, how did your reviews go today?" And Noah and I would be like, "Oh, well, some of them were kind of nervous, and but that was, they didn't realize that we were talking about students we were reviewing." So it was always funny when there'd be that moment of realization that we were a company, or especially times where they would think that we were just like employees at Revie and that we weren't the co-founders. Those were
really
even
funny.
funnier.
Like,
But
how long have
that's
you been there? And I'm like, since it's, they'll ask like,
Since it
oh,
was-
how long Revie has been around? I'm like, oh, like 2.5 years. And they're like, oh, well, that's pretty new. How long have you been there? I'm like,
2.5 years.
same time, same amount of time. Was there at the beginning, still there.
And then something clicks usually.
'Cause I made it.
Yeah.
'Cause I made it.
But anyway, it's a fun time. All sorts of stuff to dive into there, but what a blast. I was exhausted. Noah and I got up super early Friday morning and drove 5 hours to get there. And then stayed up until like 11 that night. So we were up for almost 24 hours.
Back up at 9.
Yep.
Do all that again.
To review
That next
another
night.
9 people.
Oh my God.
But I skedaddled early because I did not want to be driving back late or driving back on Sunday, because I knew I would need like a day to readjust to being back. So I snuck out during the middle of the day on Saturday. So I missed some of the panels and such, but I was there for all the remaining reviews. But Noah was there in my stead and met lots of fun people.
So many lovely little monsters, what I like to call them, motion monsters. That's not a thing.
No,
It
we
was
can
so
make it
much
one.
fun though. Shout out to all you monsters that hung out.
All you Munster cheeses.
All you silly little monsters that I gotta meet.
Now, I heard from you that you had some people come up to you that, I mean, just talk about the like portfolio selection process of like getting reviews with us. You had some people that just were not allowed to get reviews from us for some reason.
I didn't realize that we were in such high demand, but one person, shout out to Abby, sorry I'm doxing you.
Ooh, doxed.
Really wanted to meet with us and was like, yo, like on the form, they have to submit like a little form to like say which companies they want to meet with and who are their top choices. And she put us as her top choice and was like, I don't really care who you put me with as long as I get to meet with these people. And she didn't get to meet with us. I don't know how the system works.
I don't either.
It's tragic. But she ended up finding me and we had a good chat, hung out. That was fantastic. Big shout out to Abby.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely person.
I mean,
but, like, I don't know. That's wild. Some people didn't even get to meet with us. I thought that we were just sort of like, I guess I just assumed that we were just the sort of like, oh, and here's the company with availability because they've not been around for long.
But apparently not. Which we kind of knew when we walked in because, I mean, Noah and I got, despite leaving that morning and getting there late, we were supposed to show up at 9. We still were sitting around for like 30 minutes before the event actually started. And so we went downstairs at one point and just person after person kept coming up to us and we were like, oh, I love the YouTube channel. I love the show. I've submitted stuff to get critiqued and whatever. And it was just like, this is all very real. This is very weird for us, but also so extremely cool. It was very cool to have people actually recognize us and be like, "Oh, are you guys? You're from Ravi?" And we're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, sweet." Dose of Motion says, "Can you say skedaddle 5 times in a row? Skedaddle, 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 skedaddle." I think that's 5. Also, speaking of fun words to insert into conversations, let me just tell you.
You can also switch over to my screen if you want. I have the logo animation playing on loop, which, by the way, shout out to the branding team. We got to meet with a bunch of them.
Maybe there was some insider trading in terms of getting reviews with us because I felt like we met with a suspicious number of people who were like officers or...
I think that the officers and like volunteers get a little bit of first priority.
I think so too.
And it would make sense because Alex knows us pretty well, and so they would probably also know of us
right
at that point. If they didn't find us from LinkedIn of all places,
we kept getting called the LinkedIn guys. LinkedIn is like
from LinkedIn.
It's the platform I always post to last whenever I'm doing my like round of posting to all social media platforms, and yet for some reason
half my stuff makes it to LinkedIn.
It's LinkedIn. I don't know why, but speaking of
tip for the industry,
post on LinkedIn. Haley from Motion Hatch has been telling us for months, but it's true. It works.
It's true.
I don't know why.
She's right.
But I'll take it. And also, I mean, you think about it, like you posting on LinkedIn, people are already looking to either provide work or get work from there. You know, it's a much more direct connection than like, hey, you're scrolling on Instagram, not working or whatever, but I want to try and sell you some motion stuff. Sounds good. Let's do it. Like, you know, the audience is already there. But speaking of inserting fun words into conversations, let me just say that 16 portfolio reviews at 15 minutes each with a 5-minute break in between, which was the structure of the reviews.
That was less than a 5 minute. That was like a 1-minute break.
Gets a little wear and tear on the brain. You know, there's some of the people are like super, super engaged. Others are really nervous and you kind of have to like pull the conversation along just a teeny tiny bit. And sometimes it's just kind of an in-between. So it's really varies depending on the vibe of each one. And so, you know, you get to like number 12 of your group, and it's just kind of like, oh my God, there's so many portfolios to review, and like Noah and I have kind of given the same advice like every time, so it's difficult and just kind of gets repetitive. So Noah and I challenged ourselves on some of the last reviews to each give each other a random word that we had to insert into the critique somehow. I believe Noah gave me, what was the first one you gave me?
Yeah,
it was really easy. I cannot remember what it was, though.
I know that I gave you lampshade at some point.
I remember that one, but the first one you gave me was real easy. No, he gave me cat. He gave me cat to insert at one point.
Slow with
and we always tried to. I mean, some of these companies are being really formal in their reviews or something. Right. We were going there. We weren't looking for an intern or anything. So all we were trying to do was just chat with people. You know, we just wanted to get them comfortable and then be able to ask us questions about the industry, whatever. Because like we're the same age, it was weird to have it be this like formal interview dynamic or whatever. So at the beginning, I would always say, or Noah and I would say something along the lines of like, hey, this is your time. Like, we're happy to review reels or portfolios or whatever you want. But also just know you can like ask us questions and we're just here. We're here to chat. That's it. And so in one of them, whenever he gave me cat, I just immediately inserted like, if you want to talk about cats, that's cool too. And it was within like the first 5 seconds. But the one I gave Noah after he gave me cat was polyamorous. So, I don't think he understood the levels of wordplay that we were going to be getting into, but I wanted to up the ante. Yeah, I just wanted to go into the deep end. That's all. So I can't even. What was your? Oh wait, no, you did write it down.
I was like, it's nice to have a polyamorous skill set. When we're
talking about like a diverse skill set, and then there was
not a bat of the eye.
It just, I don't know. You just say stuff with confidence, and people don't really bat an eye at it. What was another one? Oh yeah, I had to say.
Xylophone?
Yeah,
that one really devolved.
He just said it. He just said it randomly. It made no sense. He was like, "Why don't you just go down the xylophone?"
Didn't make any sense. I did insert it in a nonsensical way.
That was so odd.
How would you have used it?
I would have said like, during one of their pieces, I was like, oh, the movement of this thing is kind of like, you know, you go on a xylophone and it does this like blah, blah, blah. Or I don't know, it like that thing, you could just relate anything in the design to looking like something.
Next time, let's do phrases. I think that'll be more fun.
I think that's true. Though when I had to put in 3 things into one of them where it was cellar, like a wine cellar, but also seen her and saw her. I mean, I did it, but it's just like a shopping list to go through in the conversation. And then Noah and I are sitting there like, we're still doing the critique. This is more so just for like our little, like, how can we make this entertaining thing?
Keeping our minds active.
But it was really hard not to laugh at some of them because sometimes the word just like flew out when it was completely unexpected. Like Noah gave me lampshade and I was like, dude, I immediately know how I'm gonna use this, you know? And I did the same thing. I went through my normal like, hey, you know, this is your time, not trying to like interrogate you or anything, like detectives with our little lamp and lampshade, you know? And it's just, it made it fun. It made it kind of fun. So
I think I let out a little giggle at that one.
To our reviewees, we were also having just as much fun. Don't worry.
We tried to make it fun for everybody there.
It was a good time.
And everybody had some really great work and some really good questions. I had a lovely time with the reviews, and y'all all better connect with me on LinkedIn. That's all I'm gonna say.
I've already had, I think, like half the people I met there connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email or an Instagram DM. I just like, they're on it. And I did the same thing. So to all the people that we met, I said, boom, LinkedIn connection, boom, Instagram follow. Let's go. What up, Nick M? How you doing? Sam says that's a cool logo. I gotta agree. Gotta agree with the CoMotion logo. Anyway.
Can I do one of my recs? I'm gonna do one of my recs early.
Whoa.
It's on topic.
Whoa. What the hell?
It's on topic.
All right.
I'll share with you on Discord.
Fine. I'll screen share my screen as well for later.
All right.
Hold on, I haven't found it yet. It's always fun going to events like this because you end up getting to see like you are the first person to watch this that's not part of the team that made it. It's always kind of fun. It's cool to do this like big reveal and whatever.
Also a quick actually they're not here. You're right. Thought I had the list of things I said that you had to say. Hold up. These were the title sequences. This was the title sequence for CoMotion. Big shout out to everyone who worked on this. There were a bunch of them. It's one of my favorite title sequences probably ever. I'm not biased, but it's pretty great. Check it out.
Love the title cards.
Yeah.
I will admit, at this part, I was like, they're using stock footage? what? And then I realized.
I like that section. I was like, ooh, this is different. This is fun. And they also have like the MoGraphy stuff.
There's a certain point where the sound just got, I think it's like right after this where the sound got all fun. Oh, not there.
I like that, that's fun. Golden Wolf and Hobbs people were so lovely.
Oh, it's this bit, this bit. Oh, like when that was on the big speakers, that was so good. I'm absolutely gonna work with the sound designer on something.
Yeah.
And like every other person we met with was like, oh, I did these scenes, I did these scenes, I did these scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, could it be your favorites coming up in just a moment there? In just a second, could it be your faves?
Your faves?
Your faves?
I love this little section.
Oh my, who the hell is that? Who's that? What the hell? So many shapes.
Oh my god. Scholar. Yeehaw, y'all.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, 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 yum,
Yum, yum, yum, yum. This person submitted to like every one of those categories in the student showcase while being like the leader of this thing.
Really doing the most. Shout out.
Yes. Shouts out.
Shout out to Desmond, by the way.
For real. Hey, Desmond, if you want to get us in touch with
Oh,
Domestica, I'm just
yeah.
saying, if you want to get us in touch.
Speaking of Desmond and cool people we met, we're gonna get into having some G-dang,
Oh, yes.
some G-dang guests on the show.
Yes. From studios and just people across the industry to people in the community. But we also want to hear from you guys on just people you would love to see on the show. We'll just, and hey, Noah and I, we'll critique the hell out of whatever y'all send in the same way that we will do some real fun interviews and things
Yeah, we're
with
not
people.
just trying to have people give their normal spiel. That they
Yeah,
always
we're
do.
not
Like,
trying to just give people a
write a
place to
podcast.
advertise and be campy and whatever. We want to like get into the meat of some details and stuff.
meat of some details. I also want to play some fun games with people.
Yeah, we'll do like
Maybe some fun
some
motion
challenges
design
or
challenges.
it'd be fun.
Something fun.
It'll be fun. So if you have anybody in mind, feel free to put
Or
it in the
if you
chat.
don't have anybody in mind, but you do have something that you want to see, like bring on a really great 2D animator or like perspectives. You want to see like a producer or someone else in the industry. Put those in chat. Tell us about it.
True.
Get in touch with us. Be like, I need to see this. I need you guys to talk to this kind of person. We'll be like, all right,
And
we'll find them.
what we will likely do, aside from that, is set up some sort of Google form or something for people to submit their ideas and stuff to as well, or potentially for the community do some signups as well. Like maybe we'll have one show each week where we have a community member on and people can like sign up for those slots or something. Could be fun.
That'd be fun.
Could be a good
That'd
time.
be fun.
Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody is really confused because daylight savings time happened here, and the show is like an hour earlier for like everybody else.
Yes.
I
Happy
was
daylight savings.
I was so confused when I woke up on Sunday.
Really?
Because I just didn't know that the time change was happening, and all the like. I first woke up at 5:30, which would have actually been 4:30 in the morning. So that was just, I was already set up to fail. But then later in the day, it was like It just felt like it was so much earlier than it was. I don't know. It was confusing.
My daylight savings. We had just left like a club/bar because it closes at 2.
Yeah.
And when it switched from I guess it closed at, I don't know. Anyway, it jumped from about to turn 2. So all right, it was 1:59.
And then it swapped back
2.
to.
We were standing outside waiting for our little group to find each other. And then it jumps directly to 3.
Oh.
Like while I was mid conversation with
You're
someone
like,
who was
what?
like, hey, you're blah blah blah's friend. And I was like, hey. And then it jumped and I'm like, happy daylight saving. It was really fun.
That's so funny.
I was awake for it.
Jealous a little bit.
It says Reese Parker.
Yeah, he just got picked up by Hornet. Remember?
I'm gonna have to look up who Reese Parker.
You know Reese Parker.
Oh, Reese Parker. Yeah.
You know Reese
Oh,
Parker.
Reese Parker. Yeah, I would love to chat to him too.
I'm actively making a list. I'm putting it. I'm
I hear you
typing things
away.
out. I'm typing things out as you guys are giving these suggestions. So we are taking these into account.
Yeah, Daily Motion says showtime changed? No,
Yes.
just time changed.
Time changed here. Hopefully
Time
it's the
itself
last
did.
time that ever happens.
I forgot that daylight savings, like it's not all at once, all at the same time.
I know. It
It's
just
it's
changes.
like companies do it different. Countries do it differently.
Basically just the companies of the world, you know?
Differently.
I mean, I was really confused when Barbara, like the first message that I saw that morning, completely still not knowing that it was daylight savings time. Barbara was like, Will, Raleigh is only 4 hours different from you now. And I was like, what? Did their time change? What happened here?
I don't understand.
It just didn't occur to me. I don't know why. We're going to try and get Eddie. We already talked to them about it. Who else did we talk to about? Oh, yeah. Fragment 9. Who else?
I want to get Mac on here and
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
hit him with some fun questions.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe a fun game or something.
That could be cool. I think that's a good list for now. Let's go on to
Yeah, I think we got a
crits
good
or something, and then we can flesh out the list after the show. Cool.
Let's do some crit.
It's crit
Critums.
time, ladies and
Who's
gents.
ready to get roasted?
I know I am ready to roast.
Your shoes.
I'm Bill. I'm ready to
Speaking of
roast.
What shoes are you wearing today, Austin?
The same shoes I've been wearing.
Which ones are those?
The white ones.
He's
Oh.
got white shoes on. I'm feeling spicy today. I found cowboy boots in my closet, so that's what I'm wearing. Oh.
I'm just gonna. I just made a face. You'll see it. It's okay.
All right, hold on. I'll wait for the thing to.
Nick M says, look up Studio Duo Supernova. Dion Chanasa and Esther Rossoni are incredible motion designers. They own one of the biggest Brazilian motion design school and give incredible courses. Okay, can do. And then Kenshi says, in my country, Kazakhstan, there's no such thing as time change, so I can't fully understand you. I don't know why they do it here either. It was an old practice for farmers forever ago. And for whatever reason, it still happens now. Where just in the spring, the time goes forward 1 hour, and in the fall, it goes back an hour. I hope that it stops that. Because why? You are not a cowboy boot wearing fella. It's just...
Yeehaw, brother!
It's just not true.
The time changed so that like to adjust to get, what was it? So it jumps forward in the spring, which means that the sun sets later. It's essentially to just give farmers like more time of more daylight. To do
Something like
their
that.
work, something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, it's just been a general like kind of nuisance. Some people are lobbying to keep it around. Some people are trying to get it to go away, which is kind of strange because having that just be, you know, a standard, like something that just happens like twice every single year, and for that to like completely disappear, that'd feel weird.
I'd enjoy it personally. I just think
Yeah,
it's not needed for things like this. Like now our show is behind for an hour or ahead an hour for everyone. which depending on the time means that it could be very, very early for some people.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway, let's do some crits. Fuck daylight savings time. What
I
a
would love to do
silly
some
thing.
crits.
Here we go.
That
From
sounds fantastic.
Taylor. Here we go. It's soap. Can't grab the soap. Oh, we got it. Oh, there it goes. Dropped it again. The sound's
Love
really
the
good.
sound.
It's really
Dong.
good. Dong.
It doesn't quite match with like the tile, but I will say I like the little bubbles.
It could be that the sound is it sliding off the side of a tub or something, and the bottom of the tub has tile.
Have you ever been in a tub like that?
I live in America. We don't have things like that here. That's all I'll say.
I would love to see a tub like that. Interesting.
This guy here feels a little too static, I guess. I mean, it's moving, but the form isn't changing all that much, so it just feels a little odd. I can't tell if it's on the ground or if it's like on the lens of the camera.
I think that there could be also some little animations of it's not rain, the shower droplets hitting the ground.
Yeah, I
agree. You sort of see the little like splashes or ripples in I don't know, any game with any surface that's getting hit with water.
Oh, there's
Ooh,
more.
we have a little design thing. Soap animation.
Hmm? Huh. Is that just a sock?
Yeah,
Just
those
a pair
some
of socks? Oh my god. Y'all are nuts for this. Frame by frame animators.
I like the fuzz fluids.
Crazy. You know what? For it being CC Rain, honestly, I didn't recognize it as just like a stock thing.
I like the little bit of like fake 3D that you got going on with the soap when it gets picked up.
Yeah, it's fun.
Something about that hand movement feels a little like wrong to me. Because if you're like wrapping your fingers around a soap, it doesn't like just slip off. It usually like you pick it up a little bit and it slips out of your hand because it's weighted on one side.
True.
You didn't pick it up from the direct center, or like you squeeze it too hard and it pushes it out of your hand, as opposed to just not being able to pick it up. But that's just a strange nitpicky thing, I feel. And then he picks it up with like 2 fingers.
Yeah, I've never seen someone pick up soap with just 2
and you're
fingers.
Gonna get it under your fingernails. Ooh, I hate that. Ooh, when you have to like grab it with your fingernails because it's too slippery. Have you ever had that?
Clean your fingernails out. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta cling it.
I'm gonna get you a wall of just soap bars so that you can just scratch it up every day.
That sounds kind of nice. That sounds kind of satisfying, honestly.
See, there you go.
I just rub up against the wall and I'm clean.
Boom roasted. Thank you, Sailor.
Yeah.
All right. This one is Ticket of Change.
Okay.
I think this is from...
Right off the bat, that's a lot of text happening.
I think this is from Yeti. I'm not 100% sure, though. This is also definitely copyrighted, so... No. Yeah, that's a lot of type. That's a lot of types.
A lot happening.
It's a... Also, conceptually, I am confused, and it's not just because my Spanish is the level of an elementary school child. Why? What is the... Like, why are we advertising this? Is what I'm wondering. And that's not necessarily a critique of the designer or animator. That's just, I don't understand why we're doing like a fan cam of a piece of paper.
It could be nice to make it feel more like an actual object. Because right now it's very vectory.
Yeah,
If you make it feel, it's like kind of existing
that's what
in
it is.
between, like this vector space and also looking real. And I think the contrast between this like really real looking form and this beautiful gradient world could give a little bit of nice tension. But right now it's kind of existing in a strange space.
Now, you guys in chat, let me know if this would be at all interesting to watch. But like, I see something like this, and I can just immediately think of how I would have conceptually like done the scenes different to make it more interesting, like based on the style of the thing that it is. And I feel like we could do that in like 30 minutes. We don't have time to do that on the show, but I feel like there's definitely, we can probably find one of these crits each week maybe, and then one of the shows is us, or like part of it is us remaking it how we would do it ourselves, you know? Because to me, this is like, why are we having just two of those things back there? Why not have like, to make this more interesting, you've got the, I'm not playing the soundtrack on it, but I know it's got a good beat to it. Why, these colors could be swapping with each other. Or when you're on here, it could be swapping to like, ooh, now it's purple. I don't know. If there's just like little things like that, but also micro animations, you know? Where are they at? Like, sure, you have those revealed, but like nothing is animating here except for these guys just sliding around. That's what makes them feel so vectory, is it kind of just feels like a PNG that's just stuck in there.
It
you
does
know?
feel like it's just PNG.
Because there's no variability to the actual object. And when you're pulling focus on some of these things, it just doesn't quite work because you already saw the entire thing. So when you just zoom in on here, you've already seen that. So it's nothing real. It's nothing really new or interesting. So there's not. You already revealed the whole thing. There isn't really a whole reason to keep watching it if all you're going to do is just like zoom in on part of the thing you already showed, especially when it just like all that this says is date and art. I don't know. I believe this is an abbreviation for something, but I don't know what it stands for. But like, what does that mean? What does it mean? I don't understand.
I wonder if this was for a company or not.
It probably is.
This is personal. I can't imagine that it was personal.
No, I can't either. But I don't know. It just
I don't have any more feedback.
Yeah. No, boom roasted.
Boom roasted.
All right, here we go. This one.
Two more?
No, this is just the YouTube tab.
Oh, okay.
I definitely couldn't tell you what this one's about, unfortunately. But we're gonna watch it. Ooh.
That's fun.
Zaigraj s Hrvatskom lutrijom i osvoji velike novčane nagrade.
Oh, yeah?
Hvala na povjerenju. Igramo zajedno već 50.
Wait a second. Hold on. How did we get into this world from
I was gonna say
here?
this looks very different.
This feels like very templatized and kind of sad by comparison to all the stuff that you just made. Which maybe that's a bumper that the company already has made, and so you just have to use it.
It seems like it's likely that that's just what they needed.
That fire is really cool. It's really interesting. I can tell that it's like a super strong turbulent displays because you get some of those like blobs in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also got, I don't know. Like if you actually pause on it and look at it, it looks kind of liquidy, but when it's actually animated, it looks great. The shading on the ball, all the little like extra little tiny animations that you didn't hear. Like you didn't have to make that poker chip fall onto that thing, but you did. And it feels good.
I think some of the screens are a little squished.
Some of the screens are a little squished. Meaning what?
On the phone, I think they're warped.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I don't know if this, I assume this is a remade UI. It could use with a little extra padding on the edges. Like this is running right up against the edge of that screen.
It's true too.
Even if that's how that is in their app, you might want to make them just look a little bit better, you know?
Can you go to the transition right oh. I see. All right, so these, I think I know how these cylinders are made. the poker chip specifically. There's a transition with a poker chip that goes after into, I think, away from the phone, actually. Yeah, it's the transition after this scene. If you pause on that, you can see the repetitions
Oh, on that
of the
one.
little shape that they made. There's some other ways of making them. I don't know if that was necessarily something you want to spend too much time on, but
I can understand
I
why you
see
didn't,
you.
because I didn't even notice it.
I see you. I know how you made that cylinder. You're seen. I'm liking this texture. This little like halftone texture that you got on a lot of stuff. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's really
cool.
fun.
Then Leon says, oh, fire is done with CC Mercury only for distortion. I was going to wonder if it was Mr. Mercury, but I was kind of hoping it
Wow.
was turbulent displaced. That's some of the best Mr. Mercury I have seen.
I love it. I love that. And also one of the only areas where I would say that yes, motion blur did work.
Yes.
I
But
feel
I
like
think it's also because you have the halftone and stuff, and it's like kind of like grittier style.
the impact of the hitting the baseball is not felt as much. I think that transition into the zooming scene could be polished up a little bit.
I think it's
It
just
feels
because it's a low
a
frame
little
rate.
fast. I stand by what I said. And can you put it on with the sound right there?
The crack of the bat could be a little stronger. Because that's a little... It kind of sounds like somebody like blowing into a glass bottle, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, something about the timing on that. It might be in like slightly out off beat or out of sync with the music. It goes like tick, dun, dun. But it's not. Maybe it's not like, maybe it's in between a half beat and a full beat, and that's what's making me feel strange. It's like an eighth or something. It could also, like, you could have the trumpet start on the hit. That might make it feel a little bit more impactful.
Does it not? It's off by like 2 frames. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it quite gets to like an eighth or a half beat, and so it just feels a little odd. I love this. My favorite scene is the one with the 2 cards with the poker. Right
Yeah,
there.
that
Beautiful.
feels good.
I think that's really fun.
Leon says also for repetitions, it's duplicated in 3D. A lot of times did it because of the texture you get with it instead of with After Effects 3D. Fair. What up,
Yeah.
Zappa? He says Mr. Mercury for the win. Yeah. Uh-huh. What a fun one.
Also,
What a fun
creative way to
time.
do hands. I think that's really fun. Like have the.
Have
You
the
made
what?
them feel very real. Like at first I thought they were just straight up recordings, but they're not. You just, I guess, puppet pinned them well.
Yeah.
Nice. Fooled me.
Agreed. Well done. Boom. Roasted. Zappa says the velocity on the ball after leaving the bat needs to be faster. Once the ball makes contact with the bat, it should only be in that world for another frame or two. A concussion ripple could work. Agreed.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit of a concussion ripple going, but it's just not as much.
Anybody want to
Yeah,
describe
like
what a
little tiny
concussion
bit.
ripple is?
I think it's like this sort of shockwave thing. I am making assumptions here.
Yeah, there's a little shockwave there.
There's a little one.
Dude's bat is bent as hell right
Yoink.
now. Actually, how many frames is it in there? Well, I mean, YouTube doesn't give. It's not going to give the exact, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it should probably be like 3 at most.
I think that the blue background emanating could come from the right, and you are sort of entering the zone as opposed to it coming from behind the ball itself. That might
It might
kind of make it feel like it's flying into this other world as opposed to just. I mean, it's not super noticeable when you play it, but I think that'll help give it that sense of left to right movement, like you're really tracking and it's really zooming into a different world.
It could also counteract the movement of the ball, since the ball is already going in this direction. Having something coming from over here could be a little odd if it's larger than the ball. I don't know. It could
It
cancel
might
it
need to
out
be.
and make it look kind of funny.
Maybe.
It did it from the right at first, but couldn't get it to look great. I don't blame you. But
Yeah, that's
anyway,
fair.
boom roasted.
Boom. Roasted.
Boom roasted.
Roasted. Great stuff.
Now y'all know
This
what
one's really
time it
fun.
is. It's freaking rec time.
Let's go to the Rex.
It's time for Tiki Talk for me.
Yeah, I also got some TikTok
I
Rex.
have some TikTok recs.
This one's fun.
Some of the sound design isn't my favorite, but then sometimes it really hits. Like that don 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 feels really good, you know? Love that sound. Love that sound. So fun.
I want to see it loop so badly.
I know, it just... TikTok on web, you know how it is.
It's so crunchy.
It's a fun time. Anyway, that's a fun rec. There you go. At Danwin on TikTok. There it is, nice and large. At DANWINNE. There you go. And my other rec is just because I thought it was fun. Jackson made a silly little TikTok in response to Noah and I telling him that he needs to watch TikToks for homework for making content. And this is what he made.
When you're a motion graphics designer.
Project X, this ain't what you want.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Jackson.
Watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more
When you're
time.
a motion graphics designer.
Project X,
Yeah. Hey, is my dad.
Hey, is my dad is just so... It's just so fun. I love motion. Hashtag MoGraph. Hashtag design is my pass. If you've ever done motion graphics before, I'm sure you can relate to this. And that's
so
it.
funny.
He
And
just
also
opens After
the
Effects.
repetition of the phrase motion graphic.
It's a good time. It's a good time. Also, the comments
so
that he got on it, you just opened it. He said, yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody said, I wish you'd link your portfolio.
I don't know if they're being ironic or not.
I
I hope that they are because that's so funny.
It kills me.
That's so funny.
Anyway,
The TikTok comments half the time are funnier than the actual content.
thank you.
Shout out to everyone who comments on TikTok videos.
Thank you, Jackson. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anyway,
I got one more little rec
those
here. I know I
are
did
my rec
one
series.
earlier.
Noah's last rec.
This is something done by Coat of Arms. And I want to shout out the illustrator behind it, but I'll try and find her Instagram in a sec. Oh, it just paused? You gonna work with me? Cool.
Is there sound?
Mhm.
It's not playing for me. You stop screen sharing.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
Silly grandpa using the computer over here.
What's a computer?
You'll find out when you're older.
Isn't that ironic?
I know.
Alright, you ready?
Yes.
Great.
If the invention of the rocket led to landing a man on the moon, which led to the International Space Station, which led to communicating with a comet 6 billion miles away, what's next?
Did we watch this already, or did you send it to somebody else or a client meeting or something?
Solutions and connect people with technology that makes life better.
Makes life better, Austin.
I
We're
think
using it as a reference for something, actually.
5 years out.
is that what it is? I could
Yes.
I could have sworn like 2 shows ago you wrecked the same
led to
thing.
landing a man on the moon.
I don't believe I have.
led
I
to
think
the-
I've been trying to rec this one for a while, but other recs kept popping up. So we're also using this as a reference for. Please
Motion
do correct
lifter?
me if I'm wrong. We're using this as a reference for one of our client projects, in a way that we could potentially illustrate some things.
True. Yeah, we might have already shown it, but I don't know for sure. Either way, a good piece nonetheless.
It's a banger. Check them out. Anyway,
On that note,
I got nothing else. Nothing else until tomorrow.
That's the show.
When I might have something else.
Nikim says Wreck-It Review, the new animated movie. Hey, it's under NDA. You're not supposed to tell anybody. What the hell? Jeez. Spoiler alert. Oh my God. Anyway, we'll make a forum soon. If y'all want to be on the show, we will have a community slot for sure. If you want to see other people from the industry on the show, we will certainly have that as an option as well. And other than that, link to get your work critiqued is in the description. Be sure you use hashtag #DailyMotion Show when you post on social. And that's the show. We'll see y'all
That's the show, y'all.
tomorrow. Goodbye.
Peace.